I'm really pleased to have the opportunity to talk to Dominique Fraser today about a masterclass that she's giving about helping people to have higher level clients and how to really recognize the importance of recognizing your own value in terms of what you're offering to your clients. Dominique is currently conducting a podcast tour and is actively seeking podcast hosts who cater to business owners. She's an offer and pricing strategist and works with B2B entrepreneurs, helping them propel their business by adding ultra premium offers and attracting high-paying clients. Boy, this is a tough one for so many people, isn't it, Dominique? And welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, Chris.
My pleasure. Tell everybody a little bit about how you got to this place. I think there's such a struggle with business owners recognizing their pricing. I talked to a guy earlier this morning. I was like, how are you making a profit? How did you get to this place of helping people to understand their value and then how to charge from it?
I used to be a graphic designer, and I remember when I started my first company in 2008, pricing was an issue. Every time I had to negotiate pricing with clients, I felt uneasy. And I remember I found myself some tricks, like, oh, what is your, budget look like for this kind of project? And I realized that at that time, because I was, a startup owner, I had to slowly adapt to the fact that sometimes we go in business because we have skills and our skills are not related to finance or not related to money. I was a good graphic designer. I was a good photo retoucher, but I didn't want to deal, the sales and the pricing with the clients.
Don't you find that's especially true with creatives?
Oh, absolutely. And also coaches, when they're starting, they will be, they will tend to charge per hour, like 100 per hour. And there's a lot of beginners, not necessarily beginners, like people with 30 years of experience. They start themselves as a business coach or like life coach, like as a second career. And they think, oh, I'm starting a new business, so I will charge per hour and eventually I will hire my pricing. But the fact is when you are undercharging right from the beginning, you are attracting people that are super happy to, underpay you, and they will just talk about you, praise about you, saying to other people, hey, by the way, Chris is super affordable. You should go see him. So actually, people, like clients that are not paying you at a good, amount, what you should be deserving, will just attract the same kind of clients to you.
Can I just rephrase that just so everybody understands? I know so many people who, including myself, probably you too, that start by undercharging. I'll take any work I can get. And that ends up being such a recipe for a low-paying business. And that's exactly what you're trying to undo for people. Is that right?
Exactly. Exactly. Because I kept saying to people, and before specializing myself in offering pricing, I realized that every time I was meeting a new entrepreneurs and we were talking about their offer and pricing and who they were targeting, I was always saying the same phrase, you're not charging enough. And what I realized is, usually a consultant, a coach, service providers that was able to reach by themselves without necessarily a big team over multiple six figures, usually it's because they're really good at what they do. They're really good. They have a lot of, word of mouth. People are coming to them. Clients are coming back. But the problem is they cannot scale their business because first, they're super busy serving the clientele they have. They overbooked and they are undercharging. So they don't have enough profit margins to hire help. And that was the main problem I saw those people having, through the years.
So what you're saying, if I understand correctly, is one of the biggest problems, and this is something I've seen over and over again, with myself included, is we have a tendency to not want to delegate because we really feel so strong about what we're doing, but at the same time, we're hobbling the growth of our business. Is that right?
Exactly. This is something else. So, first of all, you're so busy with service, you don't have time to spend on your business instead of in your business, first of all. Second, you're not making enough. So you don't have profit margins, or you don't have enough money to hire somebody else that will cost you, a certain amount. Because if you really want like a help of a certain quality, because if you are already at that level, I'm guessing that you want your client to be very well served. So you will not hire anybody at $5 per hour, right? You will hire somebody at your level, or even like maybe like have a specialty like that is complementary. But usually that's the problem. First of all, they don't have time. They don't have the money to delegate. And they're kind of stuck there, in this in between 6, 7 figures, still dreaming of 7 figures, but it's just not happening.
So here's what my question is to you. How did you get from that place where you were doing lots of really good work, not delegating, not charging enough? What was the process that you went through where you recognized, number one, oh my gosh, I've got to charge more so I can free up my time, so I can hire good, solid people? What was that process like for you?
Actually, I restarted the program, a few years ago, and I decided at that time, first of all, to focus instead of I had maybe the also the shiny object syndrome. I owned a lot of courses, different pricing. I was offering different level of expertise, like coaching and mentorship. And then I realized that, okay, first of all, let's focus on one offer, first of all. And then I choose 25K, 25,000. And I thought, okay, but from the start, I will not be the one serving the client. I will hire a mentor that will do the job. So I will like be the face of my, business. I will still, be there for my clients in groups, but I will have somebody else taking the ends of my clients every week. And this is where I finally, for myself, reached 7 figures very fast inside of a few months only. Because when you're selling at 25K, for an example, that's if you were taking this specific price, you only need 40 clients to reach 7 figures. And this is where I actually understood that sales shouldn't be hard. It needs to be simple. And your offer too. The offer needs to be like in 3 phrases. If the person still don't understand what you're selling, it's a bad offer. Okay, actually the message, the way you're selling maybe the offer is good, but the way you're selling it, it's too complicated to understand. So I started, also helping my clients with that, like simplicity and scalability. Yeah, simplicity plus scalability equal success. And what I realized also is you have to build and to sell right now the offer that will allow you to reach the goal that you have in the future. So instead of selling, myself thinking, okay, let's just bring more clients. No, where do I see myself in 5 years? I want to do, I don't know, I want to make like $3 million per year. That's where I see myself. Okay, how many clients do I need? 120. Okay, 40 per years, I have my 3 millions. How can I serve 100 clients or more by myself? I can't. So I need a team right away. So this is why I decided to start selling an offer first that was, aligned with what I wanted to serve my clients with, but also that allows me to hire the team that I needed to scale that business right away. And this is finally where I actually reached the level that I wanted to reach in my business.
That is huge. Talk a little bit about Like, I get the logistics of it, but I think the bigger issue for so many entrepreneurs is getting past all the resistance. Dominique, $25,000, I could no way.
No way, nobody will pay that much for me. That's the biggest question I get all the time, but actually people are not paying you. And this is something that we have to change in our mentality. First of all, it's not you they're paying for. It's for a result, a very specific result. You know, what exactly there is the result you're giving them, and what is, the amount of money your clients are willing to pay to get that result. That's the real question. It's not how much I worth. Actually, you're worth all the money in the world. We are priceless. That's true.
But it's a big jump for a little entrepreneur like me to get through to feeling that kind of value.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And this is why we actually, I have a lot of clients who I craft a 25K offer with them, and they were not ready to sell that kind of pricing. So what I told them is just okay, lower the price, sell it 5K if you want, but you know that the offer itself worth a lot more. And then anyway, your clients will tell you, oh my God, it's worth so much more than what I paid. And then eventually you will get comfortable selling it at 10K and 12 and 15. And eventually you say, oh, you know what, Dominique was right. It's worth 25.
Well, and I think that's a really important point, because I think so much of what we see, I was reading someplace on your terms and conditions of your website. We're not a get-rich company quick. We're not any of that stuff, but helping people to understand the process. So much of what we see is you can make 7 figures right now. And it's like, I don't believe that. But if I go through this process of maybe I do start at a lower price, but I keep upping it as I get more comfortable with it. I think that's one of the nicest ways to kind of get around the resistance that we have in our head about that.
If the person has a 100,000 people list, do you think there's 40 clients there? Absolutely. There is 40 clients there, So it's the moment you start seeing what others are doing, and the moment you're starting to see all the possibilities, and it's all about what? It's about the offer itself and the process to acquire those clients. That's it.
One of the things that I want to really talk about before we get to your masterclass is the whole idea of entrepreneurs being so bad at marketing to their existing clients and walking by all kinds of business. Talk a little bit about that in terms of how important it is and what you do and what you're recommending.
I think it comes back to the mindset we talked about, right? We think that actually making millions online, you should be everywhere on every social media, creating a lot of content. You should have 15 different kind of offers. You should be reaching out, outbound, inbound, being everywhere, have ads and organic. When actually, maybe you already have $1 million in your actual network just there in front of you. I can give you an example. I have a client of mine. He owned a paid group. So people are paying, $97 per month to be part of this community. And then we just did like you said, I love to help my clients create masterclasses, but highly valuable masterclasses, not webinar where they will give a sales pitch and half of the time they will talk about themselves. Not that kind of presentation. The kind of presentation that you're just giving value, and at the end, people can already implement some stuff and see results right away. And then he did a presentation in front of 28 people from this group of 300. Okay, so he just took a little part, a few people there, and he was able to sold 14 clients at 25K each. That means that his actual bank of client, there was already $500,000 or almost $350,000 there available. And now he will do like a new masterclass. And the goal, we will probably be able to reach, to help him reach 7 figures, maybe inside of 4 months, just using his actual network.
It's amazing. One of the things that you're doing is you're offering one of these master classes. I think it's a 2-hour class. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. This is what I love to do, is that every week I'm offering 2 hours. It's live and it's on invitation only. So it's not everybody who can join. I really want to serve, I want to be sure that the people that are in the room, like the knowledge I will give them will serve them right away. So if their business is not, at a certain level, unfortunately, it's not for them because it's too, advanced, knowledge that I will give. But this is what I love to do. Every week, I'm choosing like 25 people. Sometimes those people, we are reaching out to them. Sometimes it's inbound. And we are offering 2 hours of precious content they can implement in their business right away. And we'll actually review their mission, offer, ideal client. Do they have this kind of sales inside of their actual network? And usually the answer is yes. They just don't seeing it, right? But by the end of the 2 hours, I can assure you, they see the potential they already have in their actual network. And they see how they could, create a 25, 50, even sometimes a six-figure offer. And it's have been there like all along. But because you're so close from, the tree, you don't see your potential anymore.
I think it is fascinating what you're doing. I've been in marketing for a long time. Let's just leave it at that. And I think that you're dealing with some of the things that as entrepreneurs we struggle with the most. Am I worth what I want? How can I come up with a value, an offer that's valuable beyond what I think I am? And I really, when we first met, I was just blown away by what you do, because I think we need help as entrepreneurs to understand how to get there. So you have a masterclass. We'll put it up in the comments of this. What do you like as kind of minimums for somebody to be eligible to be in one of these?
Actually, we're looking usually people we can really, really help are people that already have been, entrepreneurs for some times, so they already, have clients. Maybe they have like followers in social media. They're not startups at all. Okay. They have been in business for over 5 years, 7, 10 years, maybe. They already reached the multiple six figures mark. They're just stuck there, So they have great clients. They're serving them super well. They having their clients get amazing results. And they absolutely know they're not charging enough. And they know what they're doing with their clients worth a lot more. So if you're convinced that what you do worth a lot more, and you already know it because your clients are telling you this they have been telling you this for years, this is a masterclass for you. Because then what I love to do is that before the masterclass, because it's a live masterclass, so I'm not just there like giving like my presentation. It's really like a conversation. And I love to know what your struggle is, what's happening in your business, what you think it's stopping you right now from reaching, your goals. And this is what we are addressing during the presentation.
Very cool what you're doing, Dominique Fraser. First class masterclass by invitation only. We'll put the link in the website or on the post, and go check Dominique out and what she has to offer you. So appreciate you taking the time to do this. Thanks, Dominique.
Thanks to you. Thanks for this opportunity.